Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Terra Invicta, episode number 14 in our series as the Academy. It is the year 2030, it is April the 5th, and we have finished quantum encryption. I think this has only been like maybe a month, actually even less than that, since maybe like a week since the end of the last video. And I hope that this video is basically a progression of tech, some other advances if they become, basically only notable advances like Humanity First has launched a fleet. I didn't put that on camera. We're going to try to stay mainly focused on progression of tech, any kind of alien trends, occurrences, I guess. But yeah, anyways, quantum encryption, this is great. And this unlocks for us covert operations. Crisis diplomacy is 94%. I don't know if this is a higher percentage because I unlocked this or not, but then we also have encrypted research systems. It also unlocks for us networked global defense. What am I going to do? This is like a no-brainer. I've been waiting and saying I've been waiting so long to get Skunkworks, so here we go. Advanced neural networks. We can begin research on this without any kind of waiting around or doing anything else. And the fact that this is a 1 and 1 and 1, I will leave it on a 1 1 1, but if anybody else dares to try to interfere with my precious neural networks in Skunkworks, which I want ASAP, they're going to have hell to pay. So basically, well, I will defend this probably with a 2. In the meantime, Psyops is about to finish. Well, shoot. Let's just go forward a day until it does. You get to see some live action. Alright, so we have covert... Oh, brother. Alright, I'm gonna wait. I almost don't want to, but I am going to wait the smidgen of time that... Okay, so the people keep doing this. Humanity First this time. Research into rapid response teams has been stolen. Mostly it's been Resistance stealing my stuff, but now Humanity First. I'm actually okay with it. I'm kind of like in this world, let's all get there together type thing. Okay, there's Psyops. It's completed. We already know what we're doing next. Should be a no-brainer. We want covert operations. Now we're going to have to double up on this for a little bit, but we are 75% on advanced neural networks. Doesn't look like there'll be any challenges there. So we're going to go full 3. This will be done. I'll see you back in a couple weeks. Alright, covert operations is here. We got the extra 10 control points, which is amazing. What's going to be even more amazing is getting an extra person. But what is next for us? I might have to pause and think about it. This one came up and it's something that part of the research we just unlocked. We have had a few steal and sabotage project missions against us. Even like the steal I don't really mind, but the sabotage is just not okay with me. So I think this is also because Anand, our counselor, is visible and his security isn't very high. I probably should work on that a little bit, but I'm waiting for him. Every week he only gets 1 point because I just have him advise every week, every mission segment, and that I feel bad for the guy. He's probably bored to tears. He's probably so sick of advising. He's like, come on, let me do something fun. Poor guy, but too bad. So he only gets 1 experience point per session, so it takes him 80 sessions, which is almost 2 years, for him to get all the points that we need for him to be able to upgrade his the research thing from whatever it is now to an expert level of it, which takes 80 points and gives him the extra science. But anyway, so in the meantime, I just really like this. So many good things. It's always management research again. Probably for the first time in a long time, we don't need the extra control points. I might even try to give some of the other ones away. By the way, just one other thing that I noticed. I don't know why this... So the thought has occurred to me. So I should vocalize this anyway. Just because probably it's obvious to everyone, but just not something that I have announced. And something I'm not sure about. At least I was less sure about it until this episode. It does show you the investment points that you get. And if you are abandoning a nation, you do get 0 development points. So I fully expect that 0.91, 0.96, 0.95, 1.6, 2.8 does not change at all based on your distribution. So probably there's a hidden distribution, which is what the the government is doing. I don't know. Is this the government? So basically, the question I'm asking, to cut to the chase, is whether or not if you take a nation and then abandon it, do your priorities still act towards the nation's development? Like right now, obviously, I don't get the knowledge benefit. I get 0 research. But does this country, Paraguay, are they putting 3 points on their knowledge priority? Like I had it. So if that is the case, then it is somewhat valuable to be the last person to control and like just abandon it and it's cracked down. But to still have some control means you can influence the nation, which is the whole idea behind my grabbing countries. It makes sense to me either way, by the way. If you don't have any control, if your points don't go there and like we're actually not seeing what the nation's priorities are, which are actually going into play, that does make sense to me. That I could see that. In which case, there's no benefit to doing this little thing. Okay, that was way too long of a story. Long story short, we don't know. We don't know anything, but we'll go back to research. I'll cut away for a sec. Okay, well, we are definitely not going to be doing any of these because I forgot, of course, we already are doing a social science category. I don't like to double up on those. Double jeopardy. So, I think it is going to be either research campus or settlement mining complex, and I think we're going to go with settlement mining complex. Not that I'm not sure which one of these we'd even do first, but both of these are going to require a tier 3 module. That's just the way it is. I don't really think there's anything else we would want to do, so let's just do settlement mining complex. We can do one and then the other. They're only 1500, so, well, we'll put this down to tier 1. And my goodness, we are controlling everything. Maybe I will bump these up to level 2 just to keep them going. I mean, their demands at some point I would like to know. Well, that's actually going to be done pretty quickly in only 1 more month. We'll see if... Somebody made the point, by the way, a very good point, that when you are the most powerful person in the game, you end up being classified as a rival under the hood, the game mechanics. And with that one rival, the hate does not decay. I'm not sure if that's true of the aliens too. I don't remember, but it definitely would be true of the servants. Well, quantum encryption sure does unlock a lot. We got crisis diplomacy. Still haven't reached the end of paper, by the way. Pretty busy month. Crisis diplomacy. We can't do you yet, but you are only 3,000. Wow, that is... That will be done as soon as space commerce is done. And in fact, you maybe are tempting me to do this because I really, really, really want that quickly. We're way ahead still on high temperature superconductors, so I can probably get away with this. We don't really need this any faster. We can let their demands slip away a little bit longer. Again, I like the dispersing, the amount of time between updating this gauge. Hopefully it's moving in the right direction. I don't know. But this, I would like this one faster. Not that we're going to use it faster, but just to burn through the text that much faster. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you. This is kind of interesting. About the different factions out there. Project Exodus has 92 out of 79. And they are super in debt and going even more in debt constantly. I find this funny from the perspective that you could think about people being like, I don't really care if I'm going into debt. I'm leaving Earth. Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough for the bankruptcy, the repo man to find you. We've seen all those shows on TV. Good luck finding them when they're in a different solar system. So I guess they really don't care about the money going negative, because even though I just neutralized their fund some time ago, but actually, everybody's negative. Well, okay. Resistance and the servants are negative. And actually the servants are gathering up quite a little fortune over here. 15k, that's, well, it's not my levels, but it's close. But 92 out of 79 mission control, that's pretty insane. They also have just a fantastic amount of boost. Higher boost income than me. In fact, even the servants have a boost income comparable to me. Looks like Initiative doesn't have enough volatiles to keep their economy going. So they're actually losing boost now, which is a problem. Looks like, wow, they have 650. That's because I gave them 300, but And I think I gave them fissiles as well. So they're negative in that. Apparently they don't have an income. But a lot of mission control points, 382. Not a lot of mission control points for Exodus. I don't really understand that. They share Russia with me, and they're constantly trying to purge it, but I'm defending it, so it's going to be a very hard place to crack into. They also are in Denmark, and they wanted to ally Denmark and Germany, which I did. It might even be, yep, here it is. Denmark and Germany are now allies. Anyway, I just wanted to show this mission control point. We're actually extremely far behind from the perspective that Humanity First has about the same as us, mission control-wise, and available-wise is what I'm talking about, but also usage-wise. But Project Exodus has roughly double both the used, well, more than double the used, and slightly under double the amount available. And they're really over their limit, too. So I thought that was interesting. The other thing at least I'll mention out loud is, I'm going to try to wait 50 days before this tech is finished. So Advanced Neural Networks will get me Skunkworks. I won't need to have... Skunkworks is only going to unlock and then I have to research it. But I plan to put a Tier 3 into orbit about 50 days before this, as in start the construction so it finishes around the time Neural Networks finishes. With the rationale being that as soon as I get Skunkworks, I want them up. Like, I don't want to wait to build a Tier 3, a Tier 2. I don't want to have to wait to build a Tier 2 after I have Skunkworks. I want all the infrastructure ready in place. Hilariously, I advanced time after pushing for covert operations for so long, and I forgot to recruit a person. Unfortunately, after scanning the list, I don't know why it always happens to me. Really don't. There are no criminals. And that's the one thing I want, is a criminal. I want a smooth criminal. So maybe I'll pick up a social scientist in the meantime just to get a huge bonus to my research. Like, I don't have any use for them. I don't have it. Oh, man. I need to kick out whoever I pick up, which is the sad, weird thing. Oh, man. And this person's actually not that bad. Look at that. Medium darling, government, streetwise, hard target, aware. Those are pretty good things. Stat-wise... let's see. 3 plus 0 plus 3. They are a 6. Wow. That's terrible. This is a 12. The judge is alright, but got no good traits. I mean, if I was to pick up anybody for the long term who wasn't a criminal, because we have managed to make it work without a criminal. I'd want to pick up somebody like this who's a striver. This is like pretty amazing. In fact, maybe I should just do this. You don't offer me any immediate benefits, but boy, you do have a quite a nice portfolio. Assassinate, detain, assault. Investigate and assault alien assets as well. That's nice to see. Increase in... Oh, they have stabilize. So really the only thing that... You know what? I think I'm going to pick this person up. Terrible loyalty, but honestly, that's one of the areas that I have pretty good counselors already to improve loyalty. I think actually everyone is a 25 or close to a 20. Because one of the people is actually, they just reveal their true loyalty. They don't have apparent loyalty because they're like transparent or whatever the trait is. Let's see. Is there anybody else I might be missing though? 6, 6, 2. This person's only a 7 as far as 151 in terms of points that I get for picking them. There's a lot better we could... I mean, these are all pretty dump. Oh, here's a 14. I mean, I'd like to see at least a 15. Is it 12? Man, these are just garbage. Maybe they redid how people are... Maybe these are just terrible rolls. There's nobody in this list who I would want to see. Like, these are all really bad. The 14 is the closest thing we got right here. 662, 455. Yeah, there's 2 14s. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, we'll go with the commando, even though he's only worth 7 points. So it's still 7 more points than I have right now. He's suspicious, which means bad things for loyalty. Survivor is good. Striver is amazing. Just amazing. Yep, we may not end up with I don't know. We may not end up with a criminal after all. And, I mean, we had all these unassigned orgs. He can't even afford it because he only has one administration. But he can take on this one, which gives us money too, which is fantastic. Okay, our money situation is a lot better. He can take on this so that he can do improving other places. Not that his persuasion is particularly compelling. Yeah, this is great actually. It's so nice having another counselor. My goodness. We'll have to augment the hell out of his administration though. Okay, so we have 2 points left. Research would be wonderful. 22, 1, and 10, or 22, 1, plus 2, and 10. That does make the decision pretty easy between those two. And it goes to material science. Well, that helps us with the superconductors. Didn't I want that? Hey, this is pretty sweet. Not only now... I'm going to cancel that just to make sure there's nothing on the open market I want to steal. To make sure... Yeah, look at this. I think we'd rather pick up this to make sure we just take it off the market. And this is information science, which, you know, that's one of the important ones we're doing. We could also grab... yeah, there's a whole bunch of these which give you... extra administration. In fact, that's weird. I thought I already had other ones with administration. Okay, I basically at this point need to go back and start looking at all the different other factions, maybe even contacting them, making some trade deals, or going in and doing, you know, the steal their stuff, which I stopped doing because I was completely full of text, full of organizations. But we need to go back and do that now. Start mixing it up. Anyway, yeah, we got some work to do. Maybe it is worth doing these just to get a little bit more. It only, what does it give us? 2 more administration? Because I definitely don't like it. 2K. It's so expensive. But it might. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm pretty sure that, by the way, one of our other people might. I've been kind of trying to groom, not on Angela. I believe it was on the other, I think Talitha, she has 14 raw stats and 40, so she can do 2 more. And her total, so she's at 25, but she's really way over 25, so 14 plus. Okay, so 4, 3, that's a good one too. So 4, not a good one, 3, 7 total, and... Just one more. Oh, yeah. 6. So she actually has 13 extra, and she's at 14. So yeah, she has 2 over. She's technically at a 27. Which means that we can do this. And we should be able to remove this one now. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Now, although this one's not that good, it's going to go a lot better on somebody who doesn't have anything else. So we'll transfer it over here. Now they have the ability to use the FBI. And, okay, 5 and 7 isn't amazing, but it's pretty good for starting stats. Yeah, I love this. We're starting to roll here. With 5 extra, oh my goodness. That's awesome. Maybe we will pick up an extra one too, because it really just means more research and stuff. And yeah, the money is going to go down, but heck, the money's going up by 84 more than it used to be, and we can kind of like pay into that then by getting these extra groups. I'm not worried about the influence, although technically influence is like one of the lowest amounts of things that I have. But I just haven't been too worried about it. Yeah, I'll look around. Maybe we'll grab Los Alamos. That would be all the extra money I have, but that would also be pretty nice for energy. I'll look around and I'll figure it out. Just thought I'd quickly mention that I switched to solar array. We just finished. Oh god, what was it we just finished? Oh man, please tell me. Settlement mining complex. That was it. Also, it's so cool having 6 counselors. Oh my gosh, look at this. Guys, just getting stacked already. getting engineering projects up and running. Ah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Alright, solar array is completed. So we're just going to move right on to fission reactor array. That's because I still don't really know what I'm going to do next. Considering we have a lot of, we don't have military going on, I might go into a lot of the military projects that would be worthwhile, I mean, are surely going to be worthwhile eventually. I mean, we have things like counterinsurgency operations, which are just useful for my ground operations. But at some point, I mean, like magazine is such a stupid, simple, obvious pickup. We have eventually the need of patrol vessels, things like this. So eventually, we'll have to go down the military line for space as well. Alright, so I forgot to actually do this, and these bases have just been kind of sitting idle for a while. We have a couple Mercury bases that aren't doing anything. I think I'm just going to put up a solar collector here, which we will obviously build in space. And then I think what I'm going to do is at least get one energy lab grouping. The theory I have here is that it would be better to get energy labs up where the cost is really not, the cost of energy is really not that prohibitive. Obviously with the solar collector here and, you know, eventually potentially a solar array, we can very much handle the energy here. Then the only question was whether or not, by the way, you can see how the Mercury ones are all at the poles, trying to hide from the sun. Is this one? This one. Yeah, the only question was whether or not to do it for the second one as well. And it's that game where we just want to make sure we're maximizing the things we need to have around Earth. And things like, I know the energy lab is not important because it gives us this 3% boost, which I don't really care about. But there certainly are other things I do care about. Now, the other one which comes to mind is the xenology lab. We already have a 100% bonus on this, but I can just foresee this being done forever. And it gives us such a nice boost. What's the limit on this? Up to 50%? I think I might have 5 of those already. Alright, I'll get one last one, and we'll do that for now. So we'll let those build. And that's going to improve science output, which is already actually moving up pretty nicely. I mean, this is with the advising option in the United States. So it's a little bit boosted from the raw value. But it's getting up there, which is good to see. Fission reactor array finished very quickly. I don't know if we'll even really be using that right away, but going back to... So we have a whole bunch of energy labs queued up. Because of that, I'm actually going to lay off the energy just for a second. We'll get magazine, and I'm not even going to show this one when we get it. I'll just move right to patrol vessels right after that. But before we even finish magazines, we have completed their demands. I'm horrified to see that this is... Yep, has been updated and we're still at 5. But someone pointed out that actually if you're the biggest rival, which I guess, I don't know how it works, if that is the way it works for the aliens too, you actually gain hate per 2 months or whatever instead of losing it. Yikes. Anyway, their demands. Thanks to our efforts in both in translation and in limited recreation of their ferrocite-based communication, the Hydra have thankfully shown some willingness to not only engage with us, but also to simplify their complex tongue for our sake. Their latest and clearest response brings good news and bad. The good, they do not currently intend to simply destroy humanity outright. The bad, they stipulate a degree of subjugation far beyond our reasonable expectations. I just want to say, first of all, maybe I've said this already, but the writing in this game is really, really good. I think that the story building and all that is fantastic. I also want to say that, from what I've seen of the other storylines, the Academies is the coolest. I mean, it's maybe the most difficult and all that, but I mean, sometimes people say the most difficult one is the most rewarding anyway, but I think that it's just the most interesting. Trying to, like, ride the knife's edge of doing the right thing. Anyway, so now we're going to get... Okay, so we've completed this. We updated our intelligence. Yeah, we got that done. So, next. We have translated the Hydra statement. Calling it a statement is, unfortunately, inaccurate. It is, in fact, a list of demands. Ooh, this is interesting. Number 1. Humanity is to cease all military operations against Hydra forces and place all their forces under the command of a Hydra-appointed representatives. Or Hydra, yeah. Humanity is to commit, number 2, humanity is to commit to building no space fleet, weapons of mass destruction, or other military assets that could present a threat to the Hydra race. Any such weapons in existence must be turned over to Hydra-appointed representatives, aka servants. Number 3, humans will commit to supporting the Hydra race in any and all future endeavors or military conflicts. A standing human force will be raised and trained to serve under Hydra handlers in future operations. Number 4, to ensure that points 2 and 3 are carried out, orbital weapons platforms will be placed in low Earth orbit carrying sufficient firepower to suppress any possible human resistance. These weapons platforms will be placed under the control of Hydra-appointed representatives. Actually, in that case, I guess it could be the servants, but I think that's... Well, not to spoil it, but I think that Protectorate might be somehow involved in that. We don't have them, so obviously it must be the servants. We attempted to negotiate in response to these demands. Our messages received no reply. The mood among our people is bleak. The more anti-alien members of our faction have been saying in so many words, "We told you so." The alien demands are not merely for surrender, but for complete and total subjugation. All of our attempts to reopen negotiations have been met with silence. We are at a diplomatic brick wall, and I fear there is no path forward. Alright, well that is certainly not a good thing, but it was also not unexpected in a game where ultimately you need to accomplish something, and although I could have seen an interesting storyline, it would have been a bit of a break from... it wouldn't have played out the same way, I think, but I could actually see an interesting storyline where the Academy ends up having like this narrow path to victory, where their victory is by actually subjugating the other factions and not the alien. But that's not what the way the game is intended to be played, apparently. It's supposed to be, you versus the aliens, or I guess if it's you versus the other factions, that's mostly the servants. But it would have been interesting to do not just you versus the other factions with the alien support, which is what the servants are, and why that mode is so easy. Anyway, enough talking. Moving on. Well, look, we'll just wait. I think we just... Oh, there's something I need to do. Right, pick the next project. Right. So now we could do Hydra interrogation. We have 100% bonus in this. Very soon we're going to have 100... Not 120, but 100... in the 110s. Which means that this will be finishing pretty quickly. Now, despite me saying it's going to finish, quote-unquote, pretty quickly, it's a year and a half away. So that's a very, very long time. But I'm going to keep up with my normal thread of let's just continue keeping at least one Xeno-type research going. The alternative to this would be probably pushing into... Maybe I'd have to double up on material science stuff. And yeah, okay, we control all 3 techs right now, so I guess I'm feeling pretty good about the tech situation. We'll just have to see. So we'll get magazines, we'll move on to whatever I said was next, patrol ships or whatever. And yeah, see what else. Alright, well it's the middle of June, and I just want to keep an eye on this. Servant fleet detected. I know that there are some people, some factions that are at war with each other. And, of course, when I say that, I specifically mean at war with the servants. So it will be interesting to see, like, who's... these people all have fleets. Are they going to go to war with each other? Wow, look at that. They're at war with literally everyone now. And look at my careful negotiations, by the way. I don't know if I already showed this. Sorry if I did. But I have negotiated a tolerance, non-aggression pact with the Resistance and Project Exodus. And look at that. Humanity First is also tolerant. The Initiative, I kind of don't care. Not only because they're not really doing that well anyway, but because they kind of are, out of all the factions here, I'd put them second on my do not like list. Okay, we finished patrol vessels. I clicked off it, but there it is. And now it is time, I think, to do research campuses, because I don't really have anything else necessary to do. Military-wise, we could do counterinsurgency operations, or we could do spaceport security framework. Neither of these have been an issue, though. We could start doing the Marine Assault Unit, although I expect this is even further away than my first military ships. So, I don't know, I'm just going to stick with Research Campus for now. I don't think we've been particularly unlucky in this playthrough. I don't know. I mean, there's some things that have gone my way, some things that haven't, but this is great. I mean, this is actually really, really lucky, because not only is it a great event, which gives you 25% boost to a site, but this just happens to be happening at one of our best locations anyway. Guao Jujing Base is right here with the second highest water income that I have. Okay, on Mars, there's 2 on Ceres, and I guess they're probably a lot higher, but this is pretty good. Not only that, it is my highest fissiles income. I think it might be the highest fissiles income in the solar system, or one of them, definitely top 5 or something. Let's just first of all, before we check, okay, so it's 14.3. That's not the base rate, so let's see if we're going to be able to grab the base rate. Probably not. 8.4. It is the number one. Okay, great. So we know it's the number one, and it's going to get a 25 or a 1/3 chance here that it will get a 50% increase. 25. Okay, look I'm not going to be disappointed that we didn't win the 1 in 3 after winning the whatever 1 in a million to get the event. I've seen this happen in almost all my playthroughs and other people's playthroughs. I don't know if it's an uncommon event, Lucky Strike, but it just happened to be lucky enough to happen to... Our fissiles income is just going to be insane. It's just going to be insane. So I don't know when that'll update. Oh, there it is, 18. When will this update? I don't know, but I don't know. Our fissiles income, I expect it to be amazing for the rest of the game. And, out of every candidate, it's just so obvious which is going to get the tier 3 upgrade. I mean, the tier 2 sector, the outpost core is going to become something better here more than anywhere else. So, and actually, once we get the fission pile upgrades, we should actually start upgrading these. Oh, that means we're going to have to go up to tier 3, because this doesn't give us enough power to add some labs, but if we can get something better, then it will. Anyway, that was wonderful. Well, we have finished Research Campus, so the next one up is going to be... It's actually kind of a toss-up for me. First of all, I haven't gone through this and actually done these, but we can almost surely mark some of these as obsolete. Like, you notice that Solid Core Fission Reactor 1 can unlock Nerva, and the same thing number 2. We already have Nerva, we have number 2, so there's really no point in doing this anymore. Just obsolete it, and then we can just choose not to show obsolete. And I can always bring that back. I like this system a lot. I like it a lot. Having the option to easily bring back the things which you have hidden, then you can unhide them if you made a mistake or turns out something that changes and you want one of the old techs. Anyway, now 2 unlocks Compact Solid Core Fission Reactor 1, like that. Dumbo Drive, like that. And number 3, which we have, so this one is also obsolete. And we can keep going like this. I think number 3 also only unlocks number 4, and we have number 4, so, well, no point in researching that. And we keep going up we don't have number 5, so this is a good one to keep. I think we have the same situation here with Advance. So we have Kermet Nerva Drive, which only unlocks the Advanced Kermet Nerva Drive. That's Kermet Nerva. So since we already have that, this is also obsolete. And you can see that basically if you compare the stats, 8.1, 33, 81, 33, 70, 98, 33, 75. So, I mean, it does take a larger drive to power. So it's not... I basically think that you always will want to have the better engine. So that's why I'm going to do this, obsolete it. And again, if we really decide somehow we want to go back to any one of these, probably none of these at least. But at some point, if we wanted to, we could go back and just show the obsolete and figure out which one we're missing. Anyway, so I've hidden a few of those, and we can continue to hide stuff like that. I think Nerva Drive might be one as well. But no, we don't have Advanced Nerva Drive. But we do have that. Yeah, so I don't know if there's any others we can get rid of, but we can do that for any text we want. Even something like Operations Research, I don't think I'm ever going to do this. Or commercial research, I don't think I'm ever going to do this. Like, I feel like these are a waste of research. And even though I've done the influence before, and our influence is not that great, but don't plan on doing that one anytime soon. Operations, I mean, these are all, I think all the rest of them that are left up there right now are probably good. I haven't gone through this full list. And as far as what we're going to do next, we're going to do unrest increased by 3. No, sorry, mainly, okay, that does happen, but I mainly am interested in the gain +2 to unrest missions. So we're going to go with guerrilla warfare. We're going to continue with this trend of doing military science because it's at 59%, so it is better than my pretty poor space science at only 44%. I feel like that used to be higher. What did I do? Well, I'll probably go ahead and start doing space science a little bit more. I don't know. I need to expand things. I need to... It's coming up on the time where actually I think it's past due the time. Oh, crap. Let me select this. When is... Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. I'm way past due. We have the mission control for it, so let's go over to Mercury and upgrade our station there. So this will be the first station which is upgraded. And it's going to take I think it takes a while. 54 days. Okay, so we're not too far behind. Oh, no, wait. It's coming out in August. I thought it was coming out in September, so we would have been okay. But anyways, we're going to upgrade this, which is going to take 2 extra mission control. Now we're up to 45. Luckily, we've been slowly progressing our ground mission control, so we're not behind yet. But, of course, this could also provoke the aliens. More is worse. That's not good. But I'm going to do this anyways, because at some point we're going to want Skunkworks, and that's what's coming next. And you know what? I can't live in fear of hatred forever. I can't live in fear of reprisal. Eventually, we are going to piss off the aliens. I just hope it's not that this is not the straw which breaks the camel's back, which is how this game works, actually. It's just purely a threshold, and then they go and they kill stuff, and then satisfies their anger, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is done, and we have a new tech, so I'll see you back. Okay, advanced neural networks is now researched, and this is going to unlock for us some nice techs. I mean, I was just debating, oh, what do I do next? And I kind of didn't really have anything obvious to pick, because the options right now that I had, I mean, previously were kind of ho-hum. They're not going to have an immediate impact, but these will, and certainly most of all Skunkworks. Which is why it's kind of okay I didn't upgrade my station in Mercury until now, because even though it still has like a whole month left, we need to get this Skunkworks, and then we need to, actually research it. So I think we'll actually be okay. Now, as for what technology to pick next, I hadn't thought that far, so give me a sec. I'm going to keep up the thread of using information science and do cybernetics. This is only 5,000, so we'll probably research it pretty quickly. They say February 19th. I don't know if that's because the other ones aren't contributing yet. I kind of even think we'll research it faster than that. Wow. I think this is super expensive, but... Okay, wow. Contraband scanners, enemies suffer -1 on sabotage. People haven't really been sabotaging anything of mine, but... it's always something to keep an eye out for, I guess. Transnational coordination, 10,000. Well, after cybernetics, I think we can queue that up in the bottom. And this is going to finish. Okay, now it's down to January. Still think that'll finish faster. I mean, why am I doing 80% of the work? Come on, guys. Well, whatever else we're going to do is going to have to wait. Skunkworks takes priority. And I think that this will end up finishing, actually. I mean, we're going to share this bonus, so unfortunately my total social science is going to go down a bit. 62. So it does drop 7%. We have a high enough bonus that it's dropping, I don't know, significantly. But we'll finish this up by October. And that's about the time that the other station is going to have its tier 3 expanded. And it'll actually be able to accept a Skunkwork or 2. Yeah, okay, so I like this. Okay, it's end of September. Skunkworks has finished. And it just so happens, completely without my own planning it, I went over here. Oh, yeah, I guess they're going to want us to do something else. Let me just put that on hold just for a second before I lose my train of thought. Went over to Michelangelo's station thinking, well, I can't do skunk work yet because I need my tier 3. Oh, it's going to finish on the same day. How perfect is that? Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And that's one of these cases. I did not plan that, but it's working out in our favor. Now they will ask me, and I won't have an answer as to what is going to be next. 25 control points would be... At some point I'm going to take over the EU entirely. I don't actually think that's even a good thing. I'm going to take... I have Russia already too, and like I didn't plan to do that. What I actually kind of want to do is take over... I need to take over like the reason why India is so strong is because it's got a huge population. You need a big population area. Oh, wait, don't show off. So I don't know. I need to get rid of... I need to take over some area like Africa or... The Middle East is kind of what I'm thinking right now. Okay, so we put extra time into guerrilla warfare. No, but new things have come up. I think that we're... Well, we did... We don't want to overlap with social science anymore. Let this one finish, which it only has like a month left anyway, and it'll be less than that as soon as my research bonus goes back up. Okay, let me just think about it. Okay, my plan is we just want to wait for this social science to finish before I start doing more social science stuff here. I definitely do want to. Why not just finish off guerrilla warfare? And there's other military stuff that I was considering too. And as soon as the other one finishes, cybernetics, then we can start doing some of these contraband scanners. I mean, I guess transnational coordination is going to be very nice for the 25. But the one I want to do like next, if I can, is crisis diplomacy, which gives us... Who cares about the relationship? Okay, and that might be useful, I don't know. Not for me, perhaps. But the 10 points is it's pretty cheap to come by. Anyways, for now, guerrilla warfare. Alright, let's do it. Let's see what we got. So, what's our power at right now? We are at plus 41. That's nice. We could upgrade the solar array. I don't think we need to with 41. How much is this Skunkworks? They do take 30 power, so we can get one right off the bat, but we will need more power, is the long story short. We will get one right away though. I was just reading it. An assemblage of engineering talent dedicated to developing new modules, systems, and tools unencumbered by bureaucratic concerns. Yeah, let's just get one. I don't have a nice, elegant system for where these things should get placed. But we'll just put one right there for now. I think what I'm going to want to do is get a solar array at some point. I want a solar array here. And then I can replace the one... Let's maybe... I'm not sure if I can get away with this, but let's see if I can be symmetric about it. 4 days. This. Take 36 days, yeah. So, can I cancel? No, it doesn't matter. I'll need more than one anyway. Let's leave it like this for now. The Skunkworks, thank goodness, don't take up any extra MC. So I think that we can keep getting these Skunkworks to go up and up as far as... I've been trying to use... I've been trying to balance the number of engineering projects my personnel have. I had one person who had 4 at some point. I think it might have been Anon. So I took one of the little gear wheels off and I gave it to someone else. But we're only at a 30% bonus, as I'm sure you've seen. And that's just not very high. So if we get some more Skunkworks, then we'll get up and going. But at least just getting one is going to unlock the 3rd slot. And that's by far the most important thing. So we're going to go ahead and gun for that. And that will be done... When did you say? You did tell me, I'm sure, but... Okay, that'll be done 18th of December. Well, this is not going to seem like much of a milestone for you guys because the cuts don't really show you the agonizingly slow progress that Anand has been making. Since mostly I've been doing advised missions with him, it's taken nearly 80 weeks, or 80 sessions, so like 40 months for him to get to 80. So I can finally give him the Chief Military Scientist, which is great, because we only have, this is 25 up to 35, and +1 science. That means that this military science rating will go up to 69%. I expect, at least. And I can finally start... Yeah, there it is. Nice. So I can finally stop worrying about Anand. He can go back to advising for the rest of his days. It's been painful, but it's wonderful that he actually got there. This gives him another 1 science, and that means 19% boost to research instead of an 18% research bonus. The United States will be appreciative of that. I mean, my research amount will be appreciative of that. Isn't this interesting? Oh, I guess this is from the bonus. Now, previously I was switching out Hong Cho Chow, and he was the one doing this, so that bonus probably isn't as high since his science rate is at 15.
Ready for orders.
But anyways, back to Anand is just probably indefinitely going to be doing this, and like I said, one of these days I'm going to gather up another collective area of population, and that's going to become my India. It may very well be India, but I actually quite like what the Resistance is doing with India. I mean, they really are turning this into a good place. They're doing all the right things. Probably not as quickly as a human would do, but it's getting there. Humanity First, on the other hand, well, I think that speaks for itself. Happily, space commerce has now been completed, and this will unlock for us, I assume, or I hope, civilian quantum computing, which is, it's really nice. It gives you the +5% economic bonus. I think there's something else it does. I can't remember. Does it give you control points, or... well, I'll just look it up in a moment. Or hopefully we'll get it soon, and then we can see for ourselves. But now we have to pick another tech. Arrival mass communications is the one I had in mind. If we want to steal one more of these social sciences before we switch over to doing things at the faction level, that might not be a bad idea. It would also be very... Actually, I might do space agriculture instead. Yeah, I think we'll just switch over to space agriculture. We're going to want these eventually, and I mean, we have right now, because I actually just picked up, I don't know if I showed this, I just picked up World Health Organization, which gives you 15% to life science, so we're up to 43% for that. That's quite nice. So I think I will just start researching this, and that will allow whatever we're doing here. So you can see I switched over from 1112 to 2223. I think we'll go back to the 1112, so that instead of being 50% higher, it's 100% higher on this one. Now that I have some interesting texts I want to get to. And obviously we're not being, we're not being challenged for research on these, so it's not that I need to dedicate more science to the globals. I'm at least now trying to keep things pretty much on an even footing. I mean, again, there was this 3-3 notion for a while. I actually think that it's okay to go a little bit slower on the xenology ones. We'll be unlocking a new one here very, very, very soon. And that does lead to obviously it splits our science more ways, so every tech will get a little bit less. It's not, however, it's not going to be every tech getting only 5/6 of what it's getting right now, because you get a bit of a bonus, which the science think, yeah, you can see we have a 24.8, basically it's practically a 25% bonus for spreading our tech to 5 places. So will it be roughly a 30% bonus when we spread it to 6 places? Maybe. In which case, you have this... everything gets 6/5, but, that bonus has gone up by, 5, so it's, it's not exactly... It's not clear. It's not going to be 5/6, it'll be more than that, but it won't be exactly what it is right now. I know I really shouldn't, but I just can't help myself. They may hate me, but I have to do it. Sabotage the servants. Alright, it's November. I'm gonna have to call this video to a close because it's just getting too long, but I do want to say that we're walking a fine line, and probably I'm actually crossing the threshold by messing around with the servants. their agents. And April Stern here, she has very low security, so she's just a very, very appealing target. In fact, I've already run hostile takeover on her one time, and I was able to retrieve, I used that as an opportunity to retrieve a 5 administration boosting organization. Not that I particularly want it, but then I got it away from her, which is going to make the chances of my future success much higher. And mostly what that means is actually I don't really care about that. And here's the organization. It's actually a pretty good one. I'll probably put it on someone. Unfortunately, 3 stars. But at least we could like sell it or something. Can we sell this? Yeah, so, I mean, it sells for 240. That's not worth the price of acquiring it, but again, it makes it easier for us to run further hostile takeover missions against her since she lost 5 of her administration. But we're probably going to... I mean, this is just so concerning that I think we're probably going to cross the threshold. So, I have an idea though. If we're going to do it, and I'm just going to assume... I'm going to act under the assumption that we're about to cross the threshold and the aliens are not going to like this. I'm going to start putting up some decoy stations. Now, I have to go look up, or if somebody can let me know in the comments, that'd be helpful too. Maybe confirm what I might think I know or might not know. I'm going to try to put some stations into Earth's higher orbits. I'm just going to found basic platforms. Yeah, what's the difference? These cost 3? Yeah. I'm going to found some platforms. For example, in high Earth orbit, it's extreme 2.2. It actually takes less boost to get there. Oh, we can do synchronous. I mean, just anything which is outside of the original ones. This is 2.1. 2.2 is fine. So let me have found one here as kind of like the red alert station that I know things are going bad when this one starts getting destroyed. So I'm going to put this here. It's pretty far away from Earth, but it also might be useful, of course, because it's still going to be a station. And as a station, we can put on solar panel, a collector, and then we can put on... Oh, what do I really want here? I actually think I do want some space science. I probably will eventually want these around Earth for the mission control bonus, which we are using quite a lot of, but... Okay, what about if... I haven't done a space yard yet, a shipyard. Although that probably, I want that a little bit further out. There's a couple of points where it might be better to do. Space dock, that's the word I was looking for. That takes 10 science, or 10 energy all by itself. Now let's stick with something like... Yeah, I think the space science one, which is 5 power. We're a little bit short on research for this. Let's go ahead and put that out there. And I'm just going to build one of them for now. I might kind of think about what I might want to do. And hey, this mission's going to be going live, I assume, like almost... Got to immediately go to editing and then immediately get it out there. So hopefully I'll have some feedback on what's the best thing to do as far as like making hate stations. I frankly don't remember. I mean, the person who I would trust most on this would be Perun. So I just don't remember what exactly his strategy was. And I'm a little concerned that, for example, aliens are already surrounding in a low Earth orbit. That's servants, but I think there are some... There they are. Some alien ships, or fleets really, in orbit. I don't know if they are going to go after my low Earth orbit stations. Hopefully not, because I have, I think, a total of 9 between Leo 1 and Leo 2. Anyway, this is going to call this video to a close. I didn't quite make it to the end of 2030, which was my goal. I want to do 1 year per episode going forward, but that's probably going to be tossed out the window the moment something like as soon as the system changes, as soon as we start doing fleets and stuff, then got a whole new thing. But for now, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.